YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. We got a good video. I think it's gonna be a quick one, but we got a good one. We're doing a Celtics Q&A. I tweeted it out at FGuyBoston on Twitter if you guys do want to follow me. I tweeted it out. According to Celtics Q&A, what are some questions you guys want me to answer? So I figured I'd pick a few of these and I'll dive into it and I give my answer to your question, my A, T, or Q. Again, keep a lookout for these on Twitter and make sure you're following me there too, because I do want to engage you guys watching and anyone that clicks on the videos as much as possible. Like, I think about this all the time, you know, we're getting subscribers by the day and views and everything like that. I can only do so much, right? I'm recording the videos, but you guys are just as important, if not more important, to this channel. So it's a community, and that's why I'm hoping to engage you guys more and more in these videos. And speaking of that, coming soon, I'm not exactly sure when we're gonna roll it out, but my podcast that we do on the channel, the Unleashed podcast, we might be renaming it, 1, but 2, we're gonna start getting some, you know, fans on there for, you know, 5 to 10 minute segments. You guys will be on the channel. We might debate Celtics, we might just talk Celtics, all that good stuff. Keep an eye out for that too. I'm tweeting about that as well, so make sure to follow me there on Twitter at FGuyBoston. Before we get into any of these cues, please hit that subscribe button and like the video, and then comment down below any of your answers that you think I answered incorrectly. I got that right? Answers that I answered. Ah, whatever, let's roll with it. All right, I got the questions up on my phone here, and we'll just jump right into it. I don't think I'm gonna answer all of these. There's a decent amount. We'll pick a couple, and then if you guys like this video, maybe we go and do round 2. So Peter says, how is this team going to play under a new coach compared to Stevens? Will any of the new additions make a difference, or is this at best a first round exit? So let me break that down a couple ways here. First off, how's this team gonna play different under Ime Udoka versus Brad Stevens? I think at the very least, forget all coaching aside, right? The very least, having a new face in there is going to allow guys like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, guys that maybe, I don't want to say, but maybe got a little complacent and seemingly bored at some times last year. I think they're going to come out with a little bit more of a fire under their ass. And when I say a little bit, I mean a whole hell of a lot of a fire under their ass. I think they're going to be more inspired to play, more energized, more excited to get back out there, because at the very least, this is a change. And you ask, will the new additions make a difference? I think the easy answer is yes. The Celtics throughout this offseason have just gotten so much deeper, and that was one of the biggest concerns last year. And at my personal opinion, I think it's going to be a pretty big difference. All right, Kyler Murray enthusiast says, what's your expectations for the Celtics when it comes to our record? First off, a little bit of football content here. Kyler Murray is ridiculous. I watch him and he literally just looks like he's a fake, like, video game untackleable player. It's like you go into Madden and put speed, agility, throw on the run, everything like that up to a 99, and you put all the linemen down to a speed of like 2. That's what Kyler Murray looks like. It's absolutely crazy. I know Kyler Murray enthusiasts, you've been a fan of the channel and followed me on Twitter for a while, but shout out to your 2-0 cards. What are your expectations for the Celtics when it comes to our record? So I think I'm on record, no pun intended, saying this, that Vegas is going with 47.5 wins for the Celtics team. I'm thinking the Celtics team is looking at, I think I'm locking them in at a 49 at least win team. But when I say at least, I don't mean, oh, they're going to be way better than that. I think that this team wins at least 49 games. At the very most, I think they win like 50 games. So my margin there is pretty tight. But in terms of record, yeah, I'm looking at 49 or 50 wins this year, which, depending on how the rest of the East does, I think that that's going to be good enough for 3rd place, maybe. You know, that's their sort of ceiling for me. I don't want to say that they're going to be better than the Nets. I don't want to say they'll be better than the Bucks. That just would be fraudulent of me to say, and it'd be me, you know, trusting these green lights behind me a little bit too much. I got to keep it real with you guys. All right, another one. This one's coming in from Ben Godrich. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It says, odds that we make a move for John Wall, and if we do, how do you think he'll fit in? So I've made a video about John Wall. I'll link it up right here. I kind of touch on how he's going to fit in, but I'll answer it quickly here. But definitely go check out that video. I don't think the Celtics are going to make a move for John Wall. At least I hope they don't, unless they can get like a crazy good package outside of John Wall as well from the Rockets. But I don't know how much a possibility there is there. But I really wouldn't want to go get John Wall, who's going to make like 1,000 million, bajillion, trillion dollars in the remainder of his contract. I don't want to be the team to pay him that. But in terms of the second part of your question, do I think he would fit in? Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like, I think that anyone that's ragging on John Wall's play, or, you know, I should say healthy play, anything like that, I think you're just ragging on the money subconsciously. Like, John Wall is a good player. He would fit with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. He's been a superstar in the past. He has that sort of chance to be at least a fraction of himself if he's healthy. I think you'd fit in here, but I think everybody should be on the same side of, yeah, that money's not going to be worth it no matter what. Because even if he was the superstar version of himself in years past, that money still might not be worth it. All right, there's another one here. This one's coming in from Boston. Satiko says, how do you see the idea of Aaron Nesmith being a starter next season with Jay Rich and Langford coming off the bench? Could Aaron be a solution to help the lack of three-pointers around the Jays? I really don't see Aaron Nesmith starting next year. I'm a big Josh Richardson guy for this upcoming season. I think he's going to be the starting two. But if Aaron Nesmith works himself into a starting role because of his performance, sign me up. I'm not against Aaron Nesmith at all. So I'd be down if he were to be the starter. I just don't really see that happening. But even still, like the points you're saying, the shooting and whatnot, that's going to be huge off the bench if he does perform like that. Like if he can be a shooter, that's going to help the bench and help this team just as much as if he were to start. All right, guys, last question here. I wanted to do about 5 of them. And then again, if you want your questions answered, we can do another part 2 of this. Maybe I'll tweet it out again, but this is the last question. And it says, it's from Elioth. I hope that I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know. I can't pronounce pro basketball players' names. I can't pronounce Twitter names. I can't even pronounce my own name. But Elioth says, what hopes can we have for next seasons in terms of results? And I'm not going to answer this one totally directly because I think it's very similar to the one that I answered about their record. But what I can say is that this Celtics team is going to compete more than they did last year. They're going to be in it. They're going to be more of a enjoyable team to watch that has that Boston pride and plays for Boston every single night. And you might be saying, Ev, how do you know that? Well, it's not that I know that about this year. It's that it sure as hell was absent last year. So they, at the very least, can be a percentage point more into the game, more competitive, competing, playing with some balls. Like that's going to happen by default just because there was nothing there last year. So that's what we can look forward to. That's what we can expect out of the Celtics team. They got a bunch of players that already have that in their DNA, and then they hired a coach that literally every other player that has ever played with him says, yeah, man, he wants to go to war when he's playing and whatnot. So I am very excited for at least this team competing in every single game, not getting sort of, stagnant and stale and giving up. No, this team's going to play with balls. I'm very confident in that, and that's what I think that we can expect from this team. If you guys like the Q&A, make sure to hit the subscribe button and like the video, and then comment down below what you think of my answer to any of those questions. I'll catch you guys in the next video.